So, what does the future of science in Alabama look like? Well, today we're going to take a peek. We are diving deep into the 99th annual meeting of the Alabama Academy of Science. This is where some of the state's brightest minds get together to show what they've been working on. And it covers everything from superbugs to, space-age materials. So let's see what they found.
To get a sense of how far things have come, just look at these two images. On the left, you've got the Academy seal from way back in 1924. It's very classic, very formal. And on the right, the logo for their 99th meeting, and it's a rocket blasting off. That right there tells you the whole story, doesn't it? Nearly 100 years of scientific progress, going from foundational ideas to literally reaching for the stars.
Okay, so think of this as your own personal grand tour through some of the coolest research that was presented at the conference. We're going to hit the highlights, touching on everything from wildlife conservation all the way to human health and some seriously forward-thinking engineering. Let's start with something that's maybe a little familiar, the natural world all around us. But as you're about to see, the wildlife right there in Alabama is actually giving us clues and answers to some of science's most fascinating questions.
It's a great question, right? I mean, vultures, turtles, and fish sounds like the beginning of a strange joke. At first glance, you wouldn't think they have much in common. But researchers are finding some really amazing connections and asking some incredibly clever questions about all of them. Just check out the range of questions here. It's wild. You've got one team asking if vulture droppings might have some kind of germ-killing properties. You've got another pulling DNA from busted-up turtle eggs to keep track of different populations. And then a third is trying to create the perfect superfood for fish farming. It just goes to show you, breakthroughs can pop up from the most unexpected places.
In this right here, this quote from a study out of Samford University, it nails why this research is happening here. Alabama isn't just some random spot on a map for scientists. Its unique environment makes it a world-class natural laboratory, especially if you want to understand creatures like freshwater turtles. It's a biodiversity hotspot.
So think about it. How would you normally study turtles? I mean, you'd have to go out, find them, maybe catch them, put a little tag on them. It's a ton of work. But now, scientists can just find a nest that's been raided by a predator. They can take bits of the broken eggshells, pull DNA from them, and figure out the species and where it lives, all without ever having to see or touch a single live turtle. It's basically biological detective work. Pretty amazing. All right, so from the big world of turtles and vultures that we can see, we're now going to zoom way in, down into the invisible world that's going on inside our own bodies. Because right here, on the front lines of human health, scientists are fighting a microscopic war against one of our biggest threats, superbugs. Just take a second and let that number sink in. 2.8 million. According to research presented by students from Tuskegee University, that's how many antibiotic-resistant infections happen in the U.S. every single year. This isn't some problem for the future. This is a crisis that's happening right now. The antibiotics we have, well, they're starting to fail us. So the huge question is, where do we find new ones? Believe it or not, some researchers are looking right under our feet. Yep. Students are digging up local soil samples, working on the idea that the incredibly complex world of microbes in the dirt could be hiding the next generation of life-saving medicines. So, let's say you think you found a new antibiotic in that soil. How do you actually prove that it works? Well, instead of just kind of eyeballing it, a team at Samford is using a device called a spectrophotometer. Basically, it shines a light through the bacteria sample to measure exactly how cloudy it is. This gives them super precise data on how much the bacteria is growing. Then they can plug that data into a math model
and get a way more accurate picture of how well the antibiotic is really working.
And the health research doesn't stop with superbugs, not at all. Just to give you another example of the sheer breadth of this work, a different team at UAB is using zebrafish. Why zebrafish? Because they develop incredibly fast. That makes them a perfect model for figuring out exactly which nutrients are the most important for healing injuries, which could be huge for anyone recovering from trauma or surgery.
Okay, so we've gone from understanding the world around us to healing our bodies, and now we're going to pivot to actually building the future. This next part is all about engineering and how researchers in Alabama are creating the solutions we're going to need tomorrow. First off, a quick definition. Fused Deposition Modeling, or FDM. You probably know it simply as 3D printing. It's the most common kind. You can think of it like a really precise hot glue gun that melts a plastic string and builds an object from the ground up, one tiny layer at a time, based on a digital design. So what can you build with this technology? Well, at UAB, they're not printing little toys. They are printing bioactive scaffolds designed to help rebuild human tissue, specifically in your gums. And the real magic of 3D printing here is that they can design these little structures with perfect microscopic pores. This creates the ideal framework for new cells to grab onto and start growing. And it's not all happening in a high-tech biolab either. To show you the more practical, hands-on side of things, get this. A team of undergrads at the University of North Alabama took a regular gas-guzzling ATV and completely converted it into a battery-powered electric vehicle. That is exactly the kind of project that builds our next generation of great engineers. And that last story actually brings us perfectly to our final and maybe most important point. Because behind all of this amazing research we've talked about, the turtles, the superbugs, the 3D printing, it's about the people doing the work. And you know what? A huge number of them are students.
And this isn't just happening at one or two big schools. No way. Just look at this list. This is a statewide movement. Students from universities all across Alabama are a major driving force behind this research. They're getting critical experience while contributing real, valuable knowledge to their fields. It's a total win-win.
So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? I think it's that the spirit of discovery isn't just alive in Alabama, it's absolutely thriving. From the microscopic world to the mechanical one, a whole new generation of scientists is already out there, asking new questions and building our future. Which leaves just one question, really. What will they discover next?